Notice anything different about me? Huh? I'm engaged! Just thought you should know. I figured I would share my excitement with you and maybe tell you a story. I actually don't wear much jewelry. I wear earrings and necklaces, but nothing else. I have like one bracelet that I wear, and I never wear rings. So when we were talking about it, I kept telling him, like, one, don't spend thousands of dollars. That's dumb. Spend like maybe a couple $100. And also, don't make it gigantic and sticky out, because then I know that I'm just gonna get caught on things. And he listened, and it's perfect. And it only sticks out a tiny little bit. And it's blue, which is my favorite color. So, good job there. Anyway, Corrado and I have been together for 10 years, almost 10 years. We started dating in October of 2006. So this year, October, will be 10 years, which is crazy. Except we're not gonna be dating for 10 years because now we're engaged. So, you know. So if you don't follow me on the social medias or anything, I went to Holland with Corrado and with my family, and we all went for 10 days just to hang out with family and go visit cool things. And we actually went on vacation to Belgium as well. So turns out Corrado got this ring the day before we left, put it in his pocket in like cloths that you have for like glasses to like wipe your glasses, so I wouldn't notice that there was something in his pocket. It's just hilarious. And he like carried it around every day. He like told me all this stuff after, obviously, but he kept wanting to propose, and then something would happen. Looking back now, I remember, oh yeah, like he kept wanting to like pull me away from the rest of the family, and like he kept wanting to go for walks and stuff and like hang out with just me, and I kept ruining that. He told me that when we went biking with my cousin on the way back after dinner, we only had 2 bikes, so he was like, what if the 2 of us go for a bike ride? And I was like, I mean, yes, but I don't have a phone and I don't know the address of where my cousin lives. And he was like, oh yeah. And then when we went to the Efteling, I didn't get a chance to do it there, but we got back at a relatively decent time. So he's like, let's go for a walk. And then my cousin has 2 very young children and was exhausted and needed some help with some stuff, and we're staying at her house. So then we were like, okay, we'll help you out. And so then that walk didn't happen. And just little things like that. So finally, on Thursday, so he's been walking around with this ring in his pocket for like 4 days. We went to Belgium, got our hotel room, and then after dinner, I was like, let's go like exploring, because this town is freaking adorable. It's all like cobblestone roads, houses with those giant bricks. I don't know if they're bricks, but they're like this big, and like old churches and cathedrals and stuff everywhere. And then Corrado was like, oh, like let's explore, let's climb a mountain and see if we can get a cool view. And there was this castle up on a mountain. So first we tried to get to the castle, but all of the gates were locked. So we're like, what if we find a hill somewhere that we can look at the castle and then like the view? We climbed this hill and like found what we think is a graveyard. And then across from that, there was a cooking school. It was just this building with a big driveway, and it was like Atelier de Saveur, and I'm pretty sure saveur means flavors. So we walked up there, and then past the building was just an open field. So we stepped out onto this field, and then there was like a really nice view of the castle and the street that we had just walked up. And then the sun was like over in the corner. But I guess Corrado thought that maybe we could find something better, because we went there and he didn't propose right away. We just kind of hung out and then kept walking. So we walked back down the hill, and then we crossed the street, and there's another hill, and I guess the place we were staying, which was Rochefort, had caves as well. So we're like, what if we like go see if we can get to these caves? There was like a sign pointing up in the other direction. So we went up that hill as well, but then there was houses on one side and just a crap ton of trees, so you could peek through the trees at the view, but that wasn't really like ooh, it's pretty. Corrado somehow, without raising suspicion, made me want to go back to the other spot. So we went back down that hill, went back up the other hill, and it was friggin' exhausting because it's not a hill, I keep calling it a hill, but it's a mountain. We're in the Ardennes. Ardennes? Ardennes? I don't know, is it Ardennes or Ardennes? No, it's not Ardennes, that's a store. Anyway, we climbed up the mountain, went back to this place, and then he's like, we should film a thumbnail. And I was like, okay. So we just kind of stood, and he was like positioning the camera and stuff, and like making sure it was in the right spot so you could still see the castle, or so I thought. He got all mushy. So I'm there staring into the camera smiling, and he like turns to me, he's like kissing me on the cheek, and he's like, oh, I love you. I was like, oh, I love you too, and then kissed him, and then from out of nowhere, I don't know if he was holding it before he said to do the thumbnail, or if he like pulled it out of his pocket while we were doing the thumbnail. I don't know, but suddenly there was a ring in my face. And like the untraditional person that I am, I took it from him. He didn't put it on my hand. I was like, will you marry me? So I nodded, and he did not agree that that was an acceptable response. And he's like, you have to say yes, that's the rule. I'm like, okay. So my response to that was, are you serious? Because, okay, backstory. We've been dating for 10 years. That's a long time to date and not progress the relationship. So I've been bugging him about getting married for years. I did not expect it at all. Probably because it was a family trip, but it was great because I wasn't waiting for it. I didn't expect it. It's so much better when you're not like, is he gonna do it? I don't know. Well, this would be a perfect time. Well, maybe he should do it now. Is he gonna? Maybe I should just do it. But I'm very glad it happened the way that it did because this is perfect. If you wanna watch him propose to me, he vlogged it. He was just kind of like holding the camera while we're doing our thing over here. And it's weird because at first, obviously, you know that the camera's there, but then it just kind of like fades into the background. And I wasn't holding it, so it's not like my arm was getting tired. His arm might have been getting tired, but like my arm was fine. So I forgot that it was there and that people could watch it. But it's super cool that people can watch it. We had no internet, so we couldn't tell anybody until we got back to Holland with our family. So my brother and sister were there, so I showed them in the morning. Just kind of like shoved it in my sister's face, and I was like, look what I got. Just like, what? And hugs all around. And then we just had a regular day and went to Brussels and the caves, and it was great. And then when we got back, I just shoved it in my mom's face. I was like, here you go. She's like, what? It was very exciting. Everybody was very happy. We, at like 1 a.m, Skyped Corrado's mom and dad separately. His dad was like on a fishing trip. So first it was 15 minutes of trying to get hold of them because our internet was crap and their internet was crap. His mom was like freaking out, panicking, because it's not a matter of like, you know what, whatever, we'll do it later. Like, we want to tell you now. And she's like, what's wrong? What happened? I don't understand. And then Corrado wouldn't tell her. He's like, just check your email, because he sent the picture. So then it was like 5 minutes of them, 1, waiting for the email to go through, and 2, like getting to a computer to check it because they were on their phone. And then we just hear screaming. So yeah, that was enjoyable. I can't stop smiling, which is a good thing. I'm very happy about it. So thank you very much for watching. Thank you for listening to my story. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up or a ring up. Thumbs up. And I will see you next time. Peace.